Welcome to Friday Night Fights. I'm Zeleny.
I'm Wendy.
And we have no rights to the music that is playing.
And we advise that you do not let any children under the age of 18 watch this due to language, content, adult maturity, I guess. Maybe one day you'll see nakedness. Who knows? Okay.
And because of the alcohol that we drink, we're not paid for this. It's strictly our opinions, your opinions. We're going to start the show with a shot. We normally always start. We don't.
We didn't start drinking yet. At least I don't think we did, right?
No, we didn't.
Okay.
Tonight we're going to be drinking, let's see, Jack Daniels Tennessee Apple. It's my favorite. So
Cheers.
Let us know what you're drinking. It is my favorite. Our mixologist today is going to be telling us what she's making tonight.
It doesn't have a name because I'm just winging it. You guys can name it. I really don't give a shit.
You're always winging it.
Because I'm crazy. I'm kidding. I'm not fully crazy.
Debatable.
Fully though?
We like to agree to disagree on this show a lot.
Yes. So, I'm going to use some of the pineapple juice here. I love pineapple, by the way. And then this is Welch's orange pineapple apple cocktail. Look at that color. Then
It's so summery.
it is. I love it. And I'm gonna add some black cherry Bud Light seltzer. As the condensation comes off and whatnot.
Let me see.
And we are going to add some parfait passion fruit. So I guess you could say it's like a tropical fruit punch, right? Well, maybe I should add more juice. I mean, I don't know how much liquor. Yeah, I should probably add some more. Oh, we're back down, I think.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
So, we froze for a little bit there, guys. I don't know what happened, but the first one is self-love. What does it include? What do you think when you hear self-love?
That means, to me, honestly, it means loving yourself regardless of your flaws.
Okay.
I mean, no one's perfect. And to seek perfection is just going to drive you nuts. Because once you start fixing one thing, you're going to always notice another flaw. We're never going to be perfect. And you just have to accept that. Like, no one is it? Oh,
I just wanted to say that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but it's good. I like sweet drinks. So if you like sweet drinks, this is a good one.
Oh, this is.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. It's light.
That'll get you tore up really quick.
But
Anyway.
yes, so to me, self-love is like, you have to recognize that you are flawed. That doesn't mean to pick on your flaws and only focus on your flaws, to embrace it. And there's certain flaws that we could always improve on, and those flaws we should work on and improving on. But like our physical aspects of stuff, embrace those flaws, like whether it be stretch marks, pudginess and whatnot. Like, I mean, if you have the money and you feel better to go get work done, then go ahead. No one's saying you shouldn't. It's all about how you feel about yourself. But it also doesn't mean like you should put yourself down because you don't look like Shakira.
Yeah. I feel self-love is loving yourself exactly how you are. Self-love to me is if you don't like how you are and you want to change it, whether it's you working on yourself physically or if you feel like you want to go and get work done as well, do that. If you are, I know you, not you, but just whoever on our reel, it was making sure you were satisfied yourself. If you're single, that's self-love as well. I don't have my notebook, not this notebook, but I have 2 notebooks and I make notes as the week go by. And of course, like always, I left it at my desk. But it's making sure that you feel good within your own skin. And whoever that you have to remove from your life to make sure that you feel self-love is appropriate. A lot of people say that you tend to in the other corner. Yep, it's white. No, it's white. Look on the shelves.
So
no. Anyway, a lot of people think that you're conceited or you think you're better than them when you leave them behind to make sure that you are better in yourself.
Yeah.
That's not always the case. If you have to do that, then so be it. It doesn't mean that you're conceited or anything like that, by all means, or you think you're better than them.
No, and that applies not to just friends. I feel like it also applies to family. In my opinion, it does.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, people are always like, oh, blood's thicker than water. That's family. X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah, that's family, but you didn't choose them. You were born into it. And sometimes those are the most harmful ones. And that is sometimes you have to take a step away. Not saying, like, hey, you have to be like, you know, screw you, we're not related no more. But, you know, just put a distance and put them at arm's length for your own mental well-being. And I do believe self-love also includes your mental being. It's not just your physical, but your emotional and your mental, like all of it incorporates into self-love, because you can't just focus on one aspect and be like, I'm okay, when your mentality is like going down the drain.
Right. Have any of you had to better yourself, leave people behind, and then felt that they distanced themselves from you just because you've done that? I mean, what negative reaction have you gotten from people? We want to know. The other note is setting expectations for yourself and actually prioritizing yourself has distracted. No, wait. How do I put it? Not creating a distraction for yourself by putting priorities.
Are you talking about like setting boundaries?
Yes.
Okay. No, I definitely agree. Everyone needs to have boundaries. Like, when I was younger, I don't want to say to the extent that I was a people pleaser, but I was definitely such a giver. Like, oh, you need this? I got you. All right, you want this? I got you. Like, such a giver that eventually at some point I was just completely drained. Because you forget to give right back into your own cup. Like, you can't fill. You just deplenish and you're just done and tired and exhausted. And it took a long time for me to be like, you know what? It's not my responsibility to keep on giving and keep on giving and keep on giving. Like, you know what? I need to close this off because it's more harmful than good. It's great. Other people are good and I feel great that they feel good. But then when I'm not feeling good, who's going to take care of me? And it sure as hell not going to be the other people. It has to be me. And if I'm giving my all to everyone else, what am I going to have left over for myself?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Because you were too busy filling their cup that now your cup was empty.
Exactly.
Some of the notes that I took was making time to de-stress, because when you de-stress, you're actually now loving yourself a little bit more. And there's a lot of things that you could do to de-stress, such as getting fresh air, taking a walk, taking a jog, exercising.
One of my favorites, grounding.
It's what?
Grounding. So this is going to sound a little weird. So, like, you know, like, if you go out to, like, a hike or something somewhere grassy, I like to, or even, like, by a river or something, like, where you take off your shoes and just put your, like, stand on earth and just take it all in the fresh air and whatever. And then if you're in the river, I'll, like, stick my feet in the water and just, I don't know, there's something just, like, becoming one with nature almost.
I was just going to say connecting with nature.
Yeah.
Yoga.
Oh, yeah.
I don't do yoga because yoga kind of stresses me out. I can't.
Do yoga for beginners. I mean, I haven't done yoga in a long time, but when I did yoga, I loved it. I don't do, like, the Gayam yoga.
What's Gayam?
It's like a brand. That Chinese man. I did 15 minutes in, and I was sweating.
No thanks.
Exactly. I'm like, don't do him. Don't do Gayam yoga.
Yeah. You know what? Also, it's a journal. I used to do a lot of journaling until my parents started reading my journals, and then boyfriend started reading journals, and then I just stopped journaling. Period.
I still journal occasionally. I do bullet points though.
Yeah.
That's how I journal. So you won't read everything, but there's certain topics, and that's as much as you're gonna get.
Oh, that's nice. That's pretty cool. So that you could just pinpoint, and then you know what you're trying to say.
Exactly.
Let me make a note of that. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that. No, I will. Just kidding.
Hey, if it works, go ahead.
What else? So actually, the other thing I put on there is to love yourself is also pleasuring yourself.
Yeah.
You get in contact with your own body. You know what you like. You can get off by yourself, and then you become one with yourself, and you actually get to the point where you self-love.
No, I definitely agree. Like, I know, depending on what era you were born or whatever, like, masturbation is such a taboo. Like, you know, the older generation's like, don't do it. You shouldn't be touching yourself. That's only, you know, for your husband, X, Y, and Z. But masturbation is a form of self-love. Mm-hmm. Orgasms are good for you physically and mentally. Like, freaking get yourself off.
Well, they say if you do, you're more happy. You're a happier person.
I believe I do believe that.
You're walking around the house. I'm gonna cook dinner. What? You want that? Sure.
I was like, dang, don't push it. I'm gonna be in bed like, I'm ready to go to bed.
I'm selfless. Can't help it.
And eventually, that's gonna come back to bite you in the ass.
And maybe that's why, let's just say if you become too selfless, people take advantage of you, and then you end up loathing later on.
That definitely does happen.
Yeah. That's something that you may want to think about. I believe if that occurred, more or less STDs. That is something, because, if you're pleasuring yourself, you can't give yourself an STD.
You can't, but I feel like...
Can you?
No.
No, I'm just kidding.
That'd be weird as shit.
Damn it, why'd you give yourself that? You gave yourself herpes.
I meant, like, in regards to, like, more or less STDs, I feel like there's always gonna be that hookup. I don't think STDs are gonna go away. I just think it's like, alright, I text my booty call, you ain't answer. Instead of finding someone else.
I'm gonna just do it myself.
Yeah, but to prevent the STDs, that requires condoms, communication, and until people start getting into the habit of communicating and using protection, unless you're just giving up men or women completely and just going to asexual, then hey, yeah, that will rest in STDs.
It will. And sometimes it'll lower the stress as well, because now you don't have to worry about STDs. Are they doing something? Because you know what you're doing yourself.
True.
Boom, done.
You know what I wanted to mention? I was like, it's crazy that I want to say, like, in the past 2 years, you've been hearing a lot about self-love and boundaries. Almost, I don't want to say like almost as if it came out of nowhere, but it's really been a bigger push. And if you notice, most self-love stuff is geared towards women. Like, they're advertised mostly to women.
That is true, but you know what? I think that's really... that should change, because I think a lot of men need self-love as well.
I definitely do agree, but I think women are a lot more vocal about, because we're always nitpicking on ourselves, like, oh, look at my arm, oh, look at my stretch mark, look at this, I need this, and I need this, I need breast, like, isn't that why, like, the cosmetic industry makes so much money off of us?
Believe it or not, in foreign places, just because I've been to foreign places as well, there are a lot of men getting cosmetic work done. We're just not talking about it as much here in the United States. Mm-hmm. When I went to Costa Rica, there was a lot of men getting facelift done and under eye bag area done, mm-hmm, because of them looking older, and they wanted to look younger. And it's not being talked about as much here.
Tell them if that wallet bad enough, they can get a sugar baby.
If it wasn't such, what is it called?
Like a taboo?
A taboo.
Yeah. Definitely.
All right. Anything else that we want to talk about in self-love? The only thing I can say is, women, love yourself more how you are. Whether you want to change yourself, you physically doing the work, if you want to get work done, there's no shame in that. But just know, if you're gonna get work done, you have to.
They're still upkeep with that. Like, I have a friend who got gastric bypass, and instantly she lost a lot of weight. And this was like about maybe 2 years ago, and she's put most of that weight back on. And it's like, it's not an easy fix. It's not something like, hey, you get it done, you stay like that. You still have to constantly work on it.
Yeah.
So whether you got the gastric bypass or not, like if you wanted to get to that, you have to put in work. Whether you wanted to lose it naturally or not, there's always work to put in. There's no easy fix. There's no like tap of the finger, genie, I wish, make it happen.
Yeah, if you get lipo done, you still have to work because you can still gain that fat back.
Exactly.
So just because you get it done, it doesn't mean that's where it stops. No, a year later, you can still get fat again.
Mm-hmm. And in regards to self-love, you don't need any validation from the opposite sex. Like, I know you hear a lot of people constantly saying, like, oh, you know, my man or whatever, XYZ, like, they post all these naked pictures to seek validation and attention. I mean, if you're doing it for yourself because you love the way you look, then more power to you and go ahead, girl. But if you're doing it because you want all those guys to hit likes and dropping it, then maybe you should step back and look at what's really going on and figure out, like, why do I seek this attention? Maybe I need to be giving myself that attention and love and stop that.
Yeah.
Yeah, self-love is the best love. I am such an advocate for that. I freaking love myself. And that's awesome. And that's how everyone should feel about themselves. So,
Yeah. All right. Next subject is
friends being jealous of friends.
friends being jealous of friends, and that is such a big one. Sorry, I just threw something over there for you.
So isn't that just kind of like a hater?
It is a hater.
Yeah.
It's just a hater that you know and that you're friends with.
A hater that you haven't realized
And
that
that's
isn't really your friend.
And that's the worst. That's the worst that you could probably have next to you. Because it's a person that you're looking at them as a friend and they're looking at you as a competition. And that's the worst that you can have at your side.
And keep in mind, it's not just friends. You have family that do that shit too, though.
Yes. Yes. And when they're family, it's worse because, let me just explain. When it's family, they're, whatchamacallit, how do I explain this? They're hating on you because of the way people are loving you.
Sometimes it's not even that. Sometimes it's materialistic stuff. Like, they see you having all this stuff and they want the same, but they're not at that point in life to obtain it or can't obtain it.
Or they haven't even worked for it.
That's another thing. Like, everyone always sees the success part, but they're not around to see the struggle. So they don't see the effort, the work, the sleepless hours, like you busting your ass to get there. They just see like, oh, well, this is what you have. I want this. Yeah. And they think like, oh, you were given a better hand, especially family. Like if you grow up together, they're like, oh, well, I don't have this because whether, especially if like you're the oldest, it's like, well, I had to deal with this and this and this. You were younger than me. You didn't have to deal with that. You were the baby, or you got more. You were spoiled. X, Y, and Z. It's like there's so much dynamics, especially between siblings.
Yeah, and it's funny because although you're siblings and you may have been treated differently, you both live different lives, so one cannot compare with the other. While you're being kind-hearted and you're coming from a well-interested place, the other person is coming from resentment, disgust, jealousy, and sometimes even hate. And when you look at hate is such a strong word, but they're coming from it. Like you just said it earlier. Haterators. Haterators? Did you say?
Hater? But you probably read that because someone commented, be gone, haterator.
Yeah. That's not a real friend because you should always want your friends to be doing good. And it's true, that is true, but that's not always the case. You still have deep down inside that one friend who may put on an act, but deep down inside does not want you doing better than them. You want them to do good, but you don't want them doing better than you.
Yeah. And unfortunately there's way too many people, and it's not always as easy to spot them out either.
Right.
Because some of them are really good actors.
Right.
So.
And you probably came from a place where you were friends before, when you were both on the same playing field. But now you are not on the same playing field. So now you are kind of like,
You notice the change in behavior, the attitude, like they don't talk the same anymore. Or when they're like, they pass off things as a joke when it's the meeting, but they're like, oh, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, and
well,
they're
but
not.
you're not that funny.
Yeah.
Well, you know, they say like half the things you say as a joke you mean.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so which half is this a fucking joke? The ha-ha part, I believe it.
It's a big one because a friend does not have to be jealous over material things or accomplishments or success. People can be jealous that you are happy and how people love you and admire you. A lot of people want to see you doing good but not better than them. Get rid of them. No time for it. Yeah, it's really hard to get rid of them, especially if they're your friends, or at least you consider them your friend.
Or if you're not picking up on them. Sometimes it takes someone else to be like, I really didn't think they were your friend, for you to sit there and be like, let me reevaluate this whole situation. Like, holy fuck, I see where you see that.
Yeah, and here's now that you say that, how can you tell? Because I was looking this up on Google, because you know I'm the Google queen. How can you tell? Constantly make you feel bad about your life decisions, your career, your romance, basically anything that you do. They try to outdo you. So let's just say you do something, but now they want to do it as well, but do it better than you. Always want to talk about what's going bad in your life. So when you guys get together, they'll talk about everything that is going wrong instead of what is going right.
Oh, and they want more details in regards to that. They're like, oh, tell me more. Well, why didn't you do this? Like, oh, well, that's so horrible. Well, like, oh, no, it's just to make you feel bad.
Yeah.
Instead of, like, rubbing salt in the wound.
Mm-hmm. If you tell them something good, they give you a bad reaction.
Like, oh, I'm so happy for you. And with that big-ass smile, yeah.
Yeah. They give you zero support. They talk about your insecurities instead of theirs.
No,
So those are some things of how you can tell someone, or not someone, a friend, a family member, is jealous of what you're doing.
Yeah.
So if you have somebody that's close in your circle and is doing these things, take a moment to evaluate if that person is jealous of what you're doing compared to if they're being a true friend or if they're being a jealous friend. I'm not saying everybody is doing it, because sometimes if a true friend gives you a bad reaction to something good, they might be looking out for you, like, what if this goes wrong, or what if this goes wrong? Because sometimes they're just a worrier. It could be. But, it's something you could look out for.
Yeah.
And
in regards to, like, the support stuff, I'm like, there's plenty of people that you'll see that they're like, oh, I love that you're doing it, and then you start doing it, but they're not around for it. Like, they'll cheer you on, but that's because they didn't expect you to actually go through with it. And when you actually go through with it, they're just like, oh, yeah, I saw, or yeah, that was awesome. But they're not doing the same for you as you did for them. Like, whereas you might have shared their business, word of mouth, tag them in events, they're not reciprocating that same support. They'll just be like, oh, yeah, I love it. And that's it. They might like your post, but not share or advertise like you did for them.
always loved seeing friends or people I grew up with or went to school with being successful now as adults. Make me feel good when I see that. Well, I mean, that's the positive reaction that you want to have, but not everybody feels that way. And that's, that's what we want to, that's the topic that we want to hit today. I got no time to hate on anyone, too busy trying to accomplish my own goals. And that's what everybody should be doing. But you always have that one person that doesn't feel that way. Yeah. Especially someone who's close to you, a friend, a relative. I have removed so many people from my life, and trust me, it hurts to know that people you let into your personal life can be so deceiving. It took me 2 years to get over people I thought who were my friends, and I just been. Good thing it was on my own notebook.
And that's the worst, when people you thought were like friends or family to sit back and realize, like, damn, like, this wasn't an even paced, balanced relationship. Like, this was definitely me putting in more, and they were just there. And when you ask of it in return, it turned into like, oh, well, no, like, whatever excuse they may have had, and then you're sitting back like, maybe the problem isn't that I'm asking so much. Maybe the problem is us. Again, that goes back to that self-love and boundaries. You got to figure out, like, hey, do I still want to continue being the one to put in everything, or do I want to seek a different relationship where it'll be more balanced?
I've actually had I've surrounded myself. I think I need more. I'm stuttering. That means I need more. I've surrounded myself with friends who are actually doing better for themselves. You know, there's a saying, if you surround yourself with people, you have to surround yourself with people who are doing better so that you can do better.
Yeah.
I've surrounded myself with people who are doing better, that way I can do better. Whereas if you surround yourself with people who are
Complacent.
yes, that's what you're gonna do. If you surround yourself with people who are full of jealousy and hate, that's what you learn, and that's what then you're gonna do to other people.
Yeah. I honestly, like, after, like, having to cut back on friends, like, I definitely realized I value my own alone time a whole lot more. I'm just like, all right, every now and then it's cool, but I definitely leave me at home. Like, hey, oh yeah, that sounds amazing. Maybe I'll go. Maybe I won't.
I mean,
like, there's nothing with, like, that peace with yourself. Once you have it, it's just like there's nothing that compares, honestly.
if you find yourself saying, Thorn, this and this, so and so is doing this. How can I do this? That's not being jealous. That is actually getting your gears grinding to actually pull out potential in you.
Yeah. And I fully agree. Like, it's one thing to be like, damn, they inspired me or motivated me to want to do this or to do better or to try my hand at this, or like, hey, pick up this hobby that I put on the back burner and I see them pursuing their hobby, maybe I should do the same. That's different from being jealous. That's being motivated and inspired, and
yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. And that's what your circle should be doing, motivating and inspiring you.
Yeah, it's not, if that's not jealousy, and that's where you have to learn the difference. But if you're looking at them and saying, ew, they shouldn't be doing that, or they're doing this, or that's stupid, or that's whack, that's being jealous.
Mm-hmm.
Or, oh, I could do that better. That is jealousy.
Yeah, or the friends that always want to know what you're doing or where you're going, but never want to invite you.
Yeah.
That's another one that you gotta kind of, like, keep an eye on. Like, they want to be all in your life, but they don't want to share their private, like, what's going on in their life.
Or I could do that and I'd do it better. That's jealousy.
Like, I do that all the time. I don't see what's the big deal. Like, well, great for you, but this is my first. Can't we just celebrate that I fucking did it?
Yeah. Or no support. When you have no support, that is a form of jealousy. Okay, so I'm just gonna step back a little bit. When I started this podcast, a lot of people were saying, well, you're not making money off of that. Let's just get something straight. I'm not here to make money off of this fucking podcast. I'm here to do it because I like it. Whether you want to support it or not, you could go eat shit. I don't need you to support it. The point of it is, whether you're doing something and you're making money off of it, it's great. I'm doing it because I like it.
Yeah.
If you're my friend, you're supposed to support it because I love it. I'm not here to make money off of it. So for you to tell me, why am I doing it? I'm not making money off of it. It's not to make money. It's because I like it. So go eat shit and die. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to say that. I'm saying it. But the point of the matter is, if you're my friend and it's...
Whether you're getting paid or not, just support it.
Just support it. As I've supported you.
Yeah.
And that's why I've fallen back from supporting a lot of things, just because I'm not making money off of it. That's not the point. The point is, I'm doing something that I love and I've always wanted to do, and you're supposed to be a friend.
No, I definitely agree with you on that.
And who knows? This could blow up and I could be on TV. No, Just kidding. Just kidding.
I was
But
like, don't take me on TV. I was like,
coming with me
I
on
was like,
TV.
this is how I'm breaking it now.
but
You better apply me with alcohol.
that's yeah. But that's the point. Instead of talking down on it,
Yeah.
you support it. You support your friends. You're speaking from a deep down part in your soul that is nasty, and that's where the jealousy comes in. Because I'm sure if I would have asked you to be on it, you probably would have been like, oh my god, yeah, it's so cool. No, I didn't want your dumb ass anyway on it.
And maybe
How about
that's why
that?
they're mad because you didn't invite them.
Probably. Anyway, I just wanted to say that.
No, I definitely agree. I mean, it could literally be something as simple as like, oh, you like baking, and they bring you cakes to try. Don't be like, oh, I can't eat that.
Yeah.
You don't have to eat the whole fucking cake. Take a bite. They want. Sometimes it's just like, oh, I want feedback. I want criticism. Tell me so I know what do I need to improve. Like, do you have any suggestions? Like, and I adore those friends. Like, there's a few friends that I like send stuff, and I'm like, in regards to the podcast, and I show you like the things, the suggestions they tell me. I'm like, all right, give me the feedback. What do you think? What do you do? What do you suggest? And they'll tell me like whatever their feedback. And those are the type of friends that are like, it's not competition. It's like, all right, this is what I know. This is what I think. This is what I've seen. I'll share that knowledge. And sharing that knowledge is always the biggest step. I feel like that speaks volumes of a person, because too many people hoard knowledge because they're like, if I share that doesn't, they're going to have the same knowledge and I'm not going to be special anymore, or I won't get paid more, or, I can't bargain it or whatever. So you'll see them always hoarding knowledge. Even out like companies where someone will be like, oh, I know how to do that, but they don't want to tell you how. They'll be like, I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
Because they're worried that it's going to jeopardize their position. But if you share that knowledge, though, that speaks volumes, because now I'm like, all right, you don't see me as competition. You really just want to see everyone grow.
Right. And I think that's the main thing. You want to see everybody. If I can help you, I'm going to help you. If I can be there, I'm going to be there. And I think people are like, you're so petty. Yeah, I'm petty because I'm petty Zelly. And that's what it is. And that's why I pulled back from so many friends, so many other people that I used to support, just because I think if I've helped you, you have to help. Not have to, but I'm not going to help you if you're not going to do the same thing for me in return.
You notice, like, if you're not going to put 100% in a relationship with someone's only giving 20. All right, so let's see.
Oh, thank you.
When was the last comment you read? Next level. Oh.
No, up here. I think this is the top one. I'm sorry, we got into this whole conversation like we were by ourselves. I don't even know how to go up.
All right, it takes time to let go of people you was used to, but when they're no good for you, you can heal faster. God plays a role in bettering your circle.
You can go up on yours?
Yeah, mine's touchscreen, sorry. Once you notice they might be hating on you, then it's time to remove them out of your life, even if it hurts or bothers you. Just like...
Did you just say, excuse me, mine's a touchscreen?
Sorry.
Well, mine is a mouse roller.
I'm sorry. Ali Torres said, I'm my biggest critic. I got no time to criticize others. And that's, you have to be careful about when you criticize yourself too much, though. Because that's not healthy either. Because then you constantly just pick at yourself and pick at yourself. And unless you're doing something to improve it, that's not going to help. Every next level in your life demands a different you. What happens is they fall off the tree branch when your energy and success ambition does not match with theirs. Or some will just hang on and leech off of you. And those are the ones that are the worst. Oh, someone said this podcast is great. I love to talk and engage with people. And we love you.
We love
all
you guys.
of you. It's something you enjoy and it's a positive activity. Clubbing is not on an agenda when you're doing something positive. I could, like, honestly, clubbing or so. I'd be so exhausted. I could do clubbing once a month.
I like clubbing.
I don't mind clubbing, but I just be tired.
I like shaking my tail feather.
I'm
I'm afraid when I leave, I get shot. Like, you gotta be like Little Kim. When you know her dance, you gotta get to your car like this.
Nah, see, if it was like day clubbing, I'm all for it, because I'd be up early like, hey, but once like 10 o'clock hit, my body's like, bitch, get to bed, you old. And unless I'm drinking Red Bull.
I was gonna say lies, because at 11:01, I've seen you on a chair like, hey.
That's probably because I have Red Bull and alcohol with me. That does not count. Unless I have both of them, you getting sleepy Wendy somewhere. I'm always sharing my baked mac and cheese recipe. I don't want to make it, but I will taste it. So if you want to bring us some, we'd appreciate it. Well, wait. I know you're like, do you eat baked mac and cheese? I know you like leave calorie points for your cheat day.
I can. We could do it on a Sunday because on Sundays I'm allowed to eat whatever.
All right, so you hear that, baked mac and cheese on a Sunday. I think podcasts like this is cool. It's good to get things off your chest and talk about topics that people might not feel comfortable talking about. I look at podcasts as a positive thing. Oh my God, and I love that there's a podcast for everything. Like literally everything. So if there's something you like wanted to know about or interested in hearing about, like you literally just go on and listen. Like the other day I listened to one about
you know where? On Twitch. Friday Night Fights. If you look them up on Twitch, they talk about a lot of stuff.
Yes. But I was listening to one about adoption and like this lady, she's a therapist now, but she was adopted and she was saying so much stuff that honestly I would have never thought of. Like, I mean, granted, I've never been adopted, but I would have never seen those point of views, and I was just in complete like, holy moly, like a whole new world opened up before me. I was so excited for this podcast. I admire everything you girls do. We need honesty and realness in this world.
Oh, I love you.
All topics are interesting and help others share opinions and experiences. Where do I apply to be a guest on the show? Hey, we'll get in touch with you.
Yes.
We're gonna do one soon. Yes. Aww. I would love to get a therapist on here, not to like judge us.
You know how much she'll charge us?
An intern therapist? Is there such a thing? I don't know. They must shadow somewhere. Oh, you know, actually, a sexual therapist would be awesome on this show.
No, because you know what? Let me tell you, our guests love.
Y'all some horny motherfuckers.
Let me tell you, our viewers, you pick our topics, and we're starting to see what our our viewers like to talk about. I guess we must be really good at. I'm about to go to school to be a sexologist.
I want to be an intimacy coordinator. Doesn't that sound a whole lot better?
Yeah, okay. Anyway, Zoe knows. Oh, yeah, I do.
But, actually, sex is like one of the biggest industry out there, so I'm not amazed that most of these topics are sex. Because we're getting that stuff in our face all the time.
You know what it is? A lot of people don't like talking about it. They'll talk about it within their little groups, but actually going live in front of people, they don't want to talk about it. Or they don't want to talk about stuff that comes into an inbox. And we're all for talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to put your name out there, so you can share whatever little secrets you want.
Mm-hmm. A sex podcast.
If we were pros, maybe.
I don't know. I'll tell you to try anything. And then to come back and let us know how it went.
And I read a lot, so I can, like, probably tell you where you can find it.
Yeah. I mean, I Google everything. I'm the Google queen. I mean, like, well, Google said... Try it.
I'm gonna be like, oh, well, I was watching this video or I read this article by Dr. whatever, and she offers classes, and if you go on her website, you can pay $100 and she'll teach you how to do this.
All right. Our next and last topic.
Talking about sex.
Bad sex.
Ooh.
Let me fill up my cup because we need to talk about some bad sex. Do's and don'ts, and let me tell you, bad sex.
So, I have a question, like, not a relationship. Like, if you're having a hookup, like a one-night stand, and you get back to the bedroom, and the fucker only lasts 3 minutes, and it wasn't fucking amazing. Like, what do you do then? Like, do you let him sleep the night?
No, you tell him to get out. You'll know if it's bad within that minute, and you tell him, few weeks. I don't know how to whistle, so it's a few weeks. You tell him, halt, stop.
I think I gotta throw up. I got a migraine.
I
can't do this.
I don't need my notebook for this. Stop.
But and you know what? A lot of the stuff in regards to bad sex, I don't know if you realize, it's always about the woman's pleasure. The woman's complaining about the bad sex. You rarely find the guy complaining because he always gets his nut.
Yeah, because it's like done.
Yeah.
Done. I'm sorry. Because it's like 3 strokes, I'm done. Like, what is there to complain about? It's a hole. He could do it. If he could do it with his hand, he's done.
That's true. I mean,
Because even
have you ever had bad sex?
Yes.
When I lost my virginity.
And did I tell him to leave? Yes. Feel me? Okay, you could go.
Now once only, and that was when I lost my virginity.
You didn't know no better.
Exactly.
Did
But
you
after
tell him
that,
to leave or did he stay?
I left.
Okay.
I was like, I literally left. I was like, I've never done it, but I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to feel this way. And I left, and that was the end of that. But after that, though, they've not been bad.
Normally we don't talk about our personal life on here, but I mean, at some point, us men have some bad nights, and y'all not good.
So
Okay.
tell us about your bad night. I want to hear, why was it bad? Did her breath stink? Was she not moving? Was it like a dead fish?
Well, you know that is called a dead.
Like,
But okay, but here's my thing. Even if she's like this, right? Does the whole have to move? No, you can literally do it yourself. Right?
true.
Yeah.
But I mean, even whether you're participating or not, he's guaranteed to get off. Unless he stops, he can get off.
But as we were reading in things, it takes about 20 minutes for a woman to have like a real orgasm.
That is true.
You have to hit the G spot. And it's not just like hit the G spot. It has to be like, yes.
Well, and there's also like, we need that like build up, the anticipation. We need that foreplay. We're not just like, oh, all right. I mean, granted, some of us are like, all right, I can hop on, but that foreplay will get us there faster and closer than without it.
Okay, us men have bad nights, and yes, okay. Bad sex, oh my God. I had one experience and it was a total disaster. Please elaborate, we want to know. We want to know. Okay, not the same. What's not the same?
Yeah, you guys gotta
You
give us
have to
more info.
elaborate. We need content. We need to know. You can't just say not the same. What's not the same? You have a G spot that needs to be hit for 20 minutes? Okay. Or small ass penis, like what the heck? It's the size of a thumb. Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying.
The thumb.
Did he at least rub it against the
Okay. Wow. Now, if you have it the size of the thumb, did he have big hands to compensate for it? Because you can have it the size of the thumb, but if your middle finger is pretty big and you know how to work it, come on. If she's boring or a dub, you still have a hole that you could penetrate. Am I not?
Do you stop if she's boring and so you do not get off? Is that why?
I'm pretty sure you got off. Did you not? Elaborate. If she's boring or a dub, so you just stopped and you told her to get out and you finished with your hand? Bad memories. Oh, that is a bad memory, girl. So you can't look at your thumb, right? Because if you're writing, you're like, ooh, let me write like this.
Well, did he at least do oral sex
No,
correctly?
no, I get it. Just because you have a hole doesn't mean you just lay there like a fish. Obviously, because I have many holes and I'm not just going to lay there like a fish. But what I'm saying is, if she was a bad...
She put it in your belly button? But,
I mean, your belly button is a hole. I'm pretty sure you didn't put it there.
but, I mean, hopefully the oral sex made up for it. I mean, there's some guys with some amazing head game.
There are some, and then there's some guys that don't have no game at all. It's like, hello,
That's when you gotta communicate, or maybe like the reins on a horse. Move the head.
but you can move the head and then they still go down.
Well, then tell him to lay down and ride his face.
You could do that. You could do that, but here's the thing.
You worried about suffocating them? Oh well.
No, because then you could just if you twerk a little bit, you can let them breathe. And then just go back. You know what I'm saying? If you know how to. But here's my thing. If you have.
She's about to draw a picture. Y'all done started something.
Here's the doorbell, right? Ring the damn doorbell like if you have to get in. Don't come down here. Because this does shit. This is the doorbell. Ring the doorbell.
Talking about suffocation, did you know there's actually a few people a year that die during sex because their partner didn't get off of them so they could breathe?
Well, this is what you do, right?
I guess they were probably tapping their ass like, get off!
That's what you got. Tap out. Tap out.
But they were thinking like, oh, you like that?
What if the hole stinks? That's when you tell them, get up and get out. Or you pick them up and you put them in the shower. Because there's no way you continue.
Yeah.
What happened?
Oh, I have no idea. But
that's when you do not continue to keep doing the do if the booty hole stinks. That's plain and that simple. If the booty hole stinks, at some point that booty hole is rubbing your thigh, your butt, and your thigh and your butt is gonna stink like ass. Let me just get that straight. It stinks like doo-doo. You know? Anyway.
I mean, you could always hop in the shower, use whatever favorite scent you have. Maybe she doesn't know how to clean herself well. And you could teach her. I don't know.
Hopefully he
feel like
ate the box right.
That's what I'm saying. Not too much teeth. What? Yeah, I know that, but I was like, what you say? But
if you don't know how to eat, then time is wasted. Exactly. So don't do it. Don't do what you don't know how to do.
You know,
don't
crazy?
waste your time.
There's some men that don't like giving oral, and there's some women that don't like receiving it.
Yeah.
And then you need to find those fucking partners. Match them up.
There's a lot of people who don't like oral while you're sitting there getting oral. Because if the oral isn't done right, doorbell. You're sitting there thinking, is the sky blue? Why is the grass green? Did I just hear a car drive by?
No, you're trying to speed this up, so you're gonna fake moan so he thinks he got it. You're like, oh my god. And
No,
then just wait.
you just end up going like this. What low carb diet can I do tomorrow?
Like, oh, I need to go to the store. I have an appointment at 2. Oh shit, my car needs gas before I go.
Shit, just run away. Let's see. If you don't, okay, Wendy gonna drown the guy. What kills me is he talked a good one and prolonged the sex, but it was because his duck was small. Oh, his dick was small.
Yeah. Lethal. He knew he had a small dick, so he had to use some words.
He said
He should
no.
have been upfront.
No. He said no. I'm leaving. Not putting her in no damn shower. You should have been like, baby, let's take this to the shower. Maybe she just got so nervous. She like pooped before seeing you, and
maybe
didn't
she was
use
just at the
wiping.
gym.
Yeah, I'm not doing the do after the gym without taking a shower.
There are some horny ass people in the world that will.
White bees.
I'm just saying we've seen all types of fetish. People are fucking weird and we know this.
No, ain't no hold your breath. I ain't dying. I ain't dying for no booty.
Oh my god.
He said I even may pretend my brother called me and bounced so fast. Yes. The rule is prepare before sex. That's something intimate. And if it's not, then book. It's okay. You know, when you're young, in school they teach you to say no to drugs. Say no to bad sex. It's traumatizing. Look it. We're 30-something years old. Some of us are 40. Some are in our 20s. And we're still talking about it now. How bad it is.
I'm like I said, I learned after losing my virginity. The rest of them have been good. I ain't complaining.
Yes, you just say no.
So I do have a question. What nationality for females has the best sex? Please share.
That's great. I love hearing my
See,
belly
look.
button.
Men have sweaty gym ass fetish. Yes. Oh my god. How many times have you been hit on in the gym? Because there's been a few times I got in the gym. I'm like, I stink and I sweat. Why the fuck are you trying to pick me up?
Nobody has ever hit on me
What?
at the gym. No, you don't understand. I have RBF big time at the gym. You can ask my best friend. I go into the gym and they be like, good morning. And I be like,
So I will tell
No.
you my experience. I literally headphones on. I'm not talking to nobody. I'm just on the machine, and I had a guy come up, like out of all the motherfucking machines, be like, "Can we share this one?" I'm done. You can take it. Oh, I don't want to take it from. So, do you come here?
mm-mm.
Can we? And I'm just like not responding, just looking at him like, take it, and I walked away. But like. It doesn't matter. People have some weird ass fetishes. Puerto Ricans, white girls with heads. Sorry. All right. So if you have a girl that her hole stinks, then you would notice a rip with other hygiene stuff.
Well, if her booty hole stinks, then I'm pretty sure her armpits stink. Her breath stinks. And I'm pretty sure if you stick her finger in her belly button, it stinks.
I have a story about that,
If
which
her
I will
butthole
tell you
stinks.
afterwards about the belly button.
I don't care. If her belly button stinks, her butthole
No, I'm
stinks,
telling-
and her armpits stink.
So, this is so completely off topic. I went to a comedy club once. If you know, anyone that knows me will tell you, I cannot whisper for shit. I talk my shit loud and I don't give a fuck. The comedian was talking about, earlier in the skit, about how if you really want to see if a woman smells good, smell her belly button. And then later on, he starts talking about, like, everyone knows a gay person. Like, we all have a gay member in the family. This one
My
white
belly
lady,
button don't stink.
a white lady in the audience said she didn't have any gay members and she didn't know anybody gay. And my dumb ass sitting there was like, oh, so she's probably the gay one. Yo, I kid you not. The music went low. The comedian started cracking the fuck up. And this white lady just looked at me like, and he was like, her belly button probably stinks to try to make her feel better. And I'm like, come smell it. So, don't go out
Yeah.
with me.
That is true. If her asshole stinks, everything stinks. Everything.
Oh, what was the last question? In your opinion, what nationality has the best sex? I'm intrigued. Puerto Rican, because my husband is Puerto Rican, and of course I'm in love with the... Okay.
You can stick your finger in her toti, then have her smell it. No, I think you could stick your finger in her toti. If you're gonna hit that, you may want to stick your finger in it.
You know what that reminds me of? It's a disgusting video, so I'm sorry for whoever's image I'm gonna ruin. It's a video of this guy who's like, oh, you know you're eating it right when... And he spits out all this funky white stuff. This comes out of her vagina, and it looks like a yeast infection.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, you could follow that and see, but I mean...
Well,
if-
they do a smell test.
Who?
Most men do a smell test, like and then they like pretend like, yeah,
Yeah, well, they can do it.
Yeah,
But,
they
I mean, yeah.
no, most men before hooking up with does like do a small test to see if like she's.
Well, I
like
mean,
that.
to prepare before her, you should finger her. Well, to get there, I mean, you're not going to stick it in raw dry. Unless you don't know what you're doing. But back to the topic. We're talking about bad sex.
Well,
We're
not
going
knowing
off
what
topic
you're-
here.
No,
though.
not knowing what you're doing might lead to bad sex, so we're not.
That is
really,
bad sex.
All right. Some women might not know they smell. Definitely not about the nationality, more about the individual person, the compatibility between two people.
Yeah, I was just going to say, a woman definitely knows if she smells. If you pull down your pants and it stinks, a woman knows if she smells. That plain, that simple.
What if you become nose blind?
What?
When you become nose blind because you've gotten so accustomed to the smell, you don't smell it anymore. Sorry,
Then
I'm
you
playing
need to
devil's
take-
advocate.
Well, then you need to take out a handicap placard, and before that person goes out on a date with you, let them know you're disabled. And just be like, I have a vagina deficiency. I can't
smell.
smell.
Deficiency.
Yeah.
That's
I can't smell my vagina.
They should not be in they should, but be in denial. I guess.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I definitely, it's not the nationality. I know you've said plenty of times Jamaican
Jamaican men.
but let me tell you, a Spanish man.
I've had Spanish men.
I've had Spanish men. I've never had a Jamaican man. But
I think a trip to Jamaica. I'm kidding. You're happily married. You don't get to go to Jamaica.
I ain't going to Jamaica, homegirl. But I definitely think it's whoever you're with.
It depends, because there's different levels of sex. Like, if it's just strictly physical, but now if you're in a relationship, that emotional aspect is what makes it better. Like, the intimacy makes it better. But if it's just like a one-night stand, you're not looking for that intimacy or that emotional aspect. You just want the mind-blowing sex.
Yeah. Well, guys, thank you guys all for. Shut up.
She clearly has her tongue tied and her mind is on something, or maybe someone, or a previous flashback. Maybe that we'll go with that one. She's thinking back on the sexual encounter she's had.
Thank you. I have the giggles. Thank you all for participating tonight. It was great chatting with you guys.
So in regards, they said even physical attraction isn't always mind-blowing. It all depends on what mentality you're going into it with. Like, if you know this is a one-night stand and you're not looking for anything, then you're not looking for that emotional or mental intimacy.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
It definitely depends on the mind frame you're hopping into this shit with.
Because you could go into just... Wow. We hope to see you guys
next week.
Have a great night.
You didn't even tell us what you're drinking yet, fuckers.
Yeah.
And then I was like,
Yeah.
sit there, don't you fucking do me.